This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. JMB Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment. And Silver Wax, absolute care for everything you drive.
Radio.
I always, when I hear that, yes, I always think it's you. I have to look, and I know it's not, and I say, no, I'm not going to look at him this time.
I'm going to do it from now on. I'll start throwing him in there, and you'll get.
Welcome to Outdoor Journal, the podcast. Thank you for joining us. He's Peter Bowman. I'm Angelo Viola. The rest of the crew, Boba, Nick, and Dean.
Come on now.
I like the way you started with as soon as the Dean did the sound effect of click, click, you went on your phone. Like exact.
It's timing. And timing is everything in life, my friend. You know that.
Oh, I know it.
And we're going to talk about timing today. It's part of the subject. This is an unscheduled show. So consider this, I don't know, a freebie. Oh, wait a minute.
Come on.
They're all free. All right.
My dad used to play a poker game called Piss in the Ocean. That's what this is, just piss in the ocean.
It's the piss in the ocean.
There we go. Let her howl.
We put aside regularly scheduled programming for today's episode. We just want to do some convincing. A couple of things that have come up in our. I feel mostly the last couple of years in discussions when we're at the gas pump or if I'm at the grocery store or we're out fishing or whatever. The word retirement is coming up an awful lot.
Oh, yeah.
More than I would like.
Yep. Than you would like.
Honestly. And tied in with that subject, which we're going to discuss here in a moment, there might be some surprises. There might be some breaking news. I don't know.
Do tell. Do tell.
But sort of weaving into that is also social media rearing its ugly head.
Well, they're asking that
about that same question.
Yeah,
so we thought today we'd kind of address it. I mean, hey, listen, first of all, let me tell you how wonderful this beautiful, this is Sea Green Fishing Canada shirt.
Sea green?
I believe.
Sea foam.
Sea foam.
Sea foam.
Thank
that
you,
makes
Nicholas,
more sense.
our
the store manager.
swag manager, store manager.
Just wanted to see if he was up on his job, didn't you? You're just testing him.
Foam the sea. In order to get foam, you got to have a sea that it gets all turbulent and foams up.
You can have foam in your beer.
You could do that, but if it's green, you're not drinking it.
Irish,
except
St.
the
Paddy's
17th
Day.
of March.
Hey, laddie.
So, where was I?
Oh, just the beautiful green shirt you
Oh,
got
yes.
on there.
Yeah,
There's also a mint green.
There's also a mint
There's
green.
mint green and sea foam.
Sea foam, apparently.
And they're very similar.
He meant to say foam, but he said green.
That's right. That's right.
That's my boy, Dino.
Holy mackerel. He's getting used to those buttons, eh? And I also want to talk about people who complain about you and those buttons. That's the third subject. That one probably should go right at the very top.
That's a biggie right there.
But it's the social media thing, I guess. We'll discuss them all.
That's where they're attacking me.
That's where you're getting attacked.
That's where I'm getting attacked, yeah.
Right.
Welcome to our world, Dean.
And what did I tell you to tell them?
That I get paid by the button. And
That's
if they
right.
want to pay me, I will hit them less.
Exactly.
Come on.
Perfect.
Now.
A bunch of bullshit.
Thank you. I punch them all. There you go. All right. So moving on. So the retirement thing. Obviously, it's been rearing its ugly head more so the last couple of years because, quite frankly,
Got more days behind us than ahead of us.
Thank you.
This is exactly what it is.
And so, because in this industry, first of all, in this industry, lasting for 3 decades is a milestone and a benchmark. Lasting for 4 is unheard of.
Yeah.
Now, you might look at that and you might say, well, that's because you guys are a pair of idiots. Right? You're a pair of dummies. You don't know when to quit.
Yeah, that'd be the opposite, or the one side of it. And the other side of it, well, you do have the dream job, then why would you want to quit, right? The people could say that too.
Well,
right?
there is that. There is that. But, we have to come clean with these folks. These folks are supporters of ours, and we have to be perfectly transparent here. And as much as we love doing what we are doing, there are probably more days, and I can only speak for myself, probably more days now than there ever used to be where I'm out there and I'm thinking, why? Why?
Oh, I hear you, buddy.
Why?
I
Why?
hear you.
Why? That's
Yeah,
all I
it's
want to know.
work.
Just why. I want somebody to give me why.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get you.
Whereas before, growing up in this business, there was never a why. In fact, I can be totally honest about this. The more difficult it used to be, the more challenges we used to have. And I'm going back to the 90s, early 2000s, when we were still evolving and growing. The more challenges, the more I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But now?
Yeah. You had the desire to conquer and succeed, right?
But
Now all we do is, Peter, okay, what do we do? Okay, Ange, let's have a cigar and let's talk about this now. Sit there for half an hour, a little break.
No. I say, Peter, we're...
Yeah, exactly. Bob Amell.
Exactly. So we wanted to talk about that today. We don't discuss it that often. I think we have had serious discussions about retirement that I can recall twice.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
2 times we actually, stopped everything and said, okay, let's talk about this. Twice.
Yeah.
And they were short.
They were, yeah. And Monique was involved, at least one of them, for
one
sure.
of them. And the other one was just you and I.
I see. I don't even remember it, but
Yeah.
but that's how much
But they were
you
short.
we've had. Yeah.
They were short. They were short-lived
Yeah.
because we just said, all right, so here's the deal. Boom. Okay, you agree? Yep, good. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
So maybe we thought we did take some time.
How
today
long
to
ago
talk.
were those talks? Were they like within a year or a couple
One
of
was a
years?
year ago,
Okay.
and one was about a year before that.
Okay.
And that one between you and I was 2 years, so
Yeah.
a year before that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty simple. Can I say what we
I think-
said? If you remember,
I think I remember saying something about you said, when am I going to retire? And I said,
no. I asked you,
yeah.
when do you think you're going to retire? And you said,
thought
well,
I said
I'll
something.
tell you what. I will retire when you retire.
Right. Well, I'm going to take my word back on that one right now. I'll tell you that right now.
You didn't think I'd go the next 2 years,
Jesus
did you?
Christ, you're still with this guy. He's a RoboCop. What the hell? He won't go away. The Terminator.
So that's the only discussion. From
Yeah, you're right. That's
from
right,
a
yeah.
business standpoint, we haven't. There's nothing been discussed anywhere.
You know what the freaky thing is for anybody? So the younger people listening and anybody not of Ange's of my age is that when you're under the quote retirement age, so 65 is the normal retirement age. Anything less, you don't even really think about it. I don't, I should say. Like when we were talking like that, 65, well, that's a long time away, whatever. You're 60, that's a long ways away. Really, it's not. I mean, you should be thinking about it for your own sake and, for your own financial reasons, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, it didn't pop into my head, really, until I get to this age here now. And now I'm saying, and now everybody's asking too. Everybody's saying, hey, when are you going to retire? My wife the other day, yeah, you got to retire. You got to retire. Well, why don't you retire? Take some time off, right? Yeah, I got to think about that, honey.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
I
on
do.
it. I say I'm on it. Whenever the Countess hits me with that one, I say I'm working on a plan.
Yeah.
Just stick
Would
with me.
Would you have enough to do if you retired away from here? Because you are kind of a workaholic, or at least you like to. You've been in business, from the day 16 years old. You had your own businesses, right? I think 16 or 15.
16.
So you've been on the go for a long time with that. What would you have? I know you have enough hobbies. Would you be able to take that and just say, you know what? Hey, I can step away from work. I think I can do
I
this.
wish I could give you a resounding hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah. Thank you. I wish I could give you one of those on that. That's the very reason I'm still sitting here today.
That's why I asked that, because I knew that, but I just wanted to relate to the audience.
Since my heart attack in 2019, I probably ask myself that question at least once a week. Mm-hmm. Right. And then just when I'm starting to get comfortable with it, just when I'm buying in, just when it's okay, I get that. You know how you get those shivers every once in a while? I get those shivers and say, and then what? Mm-hmm. Then what?
Yeah.
So, but having said that, I think we have to be realistic. Let's look at people in our business, right? Normally, if somebody's in it 20 years, they're done. 20, 25 years, they're done. We've had two or three examples in the last 5 years that have decided to quit, younger than we are. One of them younger than us, and the other one just barely in between our ages.
Between us, yeah.
And the reason being is that, and I know there are probably some of you out there saying, "Are you kidding me? You two clowns, you go out and you do nothing but do what we would like to be able to do, and you're complaining." We're not complaining here. Don't get this wrong. There's no complaints.
I think it's the opposite of complaining. We're hanging in, so I mean, it can't be complaining, really, right? We're hanging tough. There's a reason we're hanging tough here, obviously. Because there's people that are waiting for that day, their 65th birthday. I'm out of here. I'm effers. I'm gone. You know what I mean? So
I'm sure we've both got friends in our circles that we've known that have taken that route, and shortly
I'll
after
tell you,
which,
Mikey Burris, man, he's living the perfect retirement dream. His house is paid for, all his expenses are paid for. He's fishing about 4 days a week, and then he does a little work on the house, and he is loving it.
Good for
he
Mike.
Is
How old is Mike?
65.
65.
But he retired at 64, I think. He was 63 or 64 he retired at.
And you have to have your health with you, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That's so important, right?
And the other thing is, you see, what we're doing here is we're pushing the envelope because let's just say I finally retired, and you heard this a lot of times. I finally retired. Oh my God, he retired, and 7 months later he died. Or whatever.
I hear that.
You
a
know
lot.
what I
That's
mean?
what
It's
I was
like,
going to tell you.
oh my God, you didn't have a chance to even have fun or
That's
do
what I
whatever
was
you
gonna
wanted.
say. I know two people.
Yeah.
That has, and I guess we shouldn't be talking about death. It's pretty morbid, but
No, it's a reality.
it's
though.
part of the
Once you
subject
get old,
matter, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to enjoy some time. You know, if you can get a good 10 years, 65 to 75, let's say, you should have good 10 years out of that. And then after that, who knows what, after 75 years old, what your old ticker's going to be doing or whatever. But health is a big one, too, on it. So
So I guess we're no closer to giving you an answer. And the reason we feel compelled to give you an answer is because Nick was telling us just before we went on today that, and Dean, that you folks frequently ask that question on social media. I know I get it in person. I was saying about 10 minutes ago, I get that all the time. Saying, hey, when are you retiring? And I said, you know, and usually my answer is, why? Do you hate me that much? You want me to die?
That's another reason. Yeah, that's another thought that I had too. Is it like, are they pushing us out of here? What the hell? You know what I mean? But
Which maybe would be a valid reason.
Hell yeah.
Right?
They don't like, if I'm on that TV and I'm screwing up day after day and I'm doing shit that nobody likes, please tell me. And I need to go bury my head in the sand somewhere.
See, I think it's the opposite, because it would be truly the end of an era for Canadian fishing TV. Like, you guys are the last ones. I mean, I think it would be a huge deal. I think people are not wanting to hear the end of that, I'm assuming.
How strong is TV now compared to everything else? All the young guys at the YouTube and all that stuff versus TV. There's only a few of us out there. How strong is that still, right? That's the question, too.
Well,
right?
we have to be realistic, though. Our world is TV.
Right.
Right?
Well, I get it.
This stuff is great. Don't get me wrong. Doing the podcast has been great since we dropped radio. It's been a nice addition, augmenting what we do with the TV show. Our digital footprint has grown and it's expanding. But at the end of the day, I can speak for myself. We're broadcasters. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what we do. We broadcast on national television. We've done that since we were kids. So I don't think you can bring the...
No, I'm just wondering, like, if our era stops, if the fishing, you and I, not the Fishing Canada show, because Nick and Dean and everybody here is, can carry the torch and all that stuff. I'm just wondering how strong it is. If there's an audience even that just says, I just want Ange and Pete and I don't want to watch anybody else. What if that's out there or not? I hope not, but...
Well, here's something. It's a great question, because I find myself answering that a lot when people do engage me in the retirement conversation and we start talking about it, and I say, I probably should, and it won't be too long, and then inadvertently they realize that they said something that now caused me to sort of feel, and they quickly say, hey, well, I don't think you should ever retire, because I don't think your audience will accept that. I think the show would just come to a grinding halt and it'd be all over. And I tell them I know they're trying to prop me up when they say that, because they kicked me in the nuts first, and now to try to console me.
Help you up a little bit.
But I believe in my heart of hearts, and I could be totally wrong.
That means they kicked you in the ankle, right?
In the ankle, in the right ankle right there. For those of you who follow the show regularly, you know what he's referring to on that.
One of Ange's best jokes ever. When he comes out with it, he surprises everybody.
And I say that the show will go on with or without us, or me. I can't speak about you, but I can speak about me. I don't think that there will be a huge disruption. And of course, they go on saying, no, there's no way, which is basically what you just said now, Dean. Mm-hmm. And I totally disagree. I think the brand has a personality of its own. I think the Fishing Canada brand is just that. It's a brand, because keep in mind that right from the onset, we always had more than one or two or three hosts on this show.
Always.
We've always done that. Reno and I, when we started this, we deliberated about this for the longest of time, that we didn't want to be the, quote, personal brand, where it's a person's name. And
Roland
fishing,
Martin.
Well,
Fishing with Roland Martin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an example.
Yeah, because we felt that we wanted to build a brand. And you can't build a brand. You can, but you can't really build a brand that goes on, that becomes a generational brand if it's named after a person.
So here's a perfect example for everybody. I don't know if Ange wants me to mention this or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to mention it anyways. Bob Izumi. Bob Izumi, an iconic figure in the Canadian, but most people don't even know it was Real Fishing was a show. They don't. It's the Bob Izumi show. It's everything was Bob Izumi like that. He branded his name and not really Real Fishing. Ange and Reno went the opposite direction and branded Fishing Canada. And then Ange and Reno, they get called each other's name all the time.
Oh, all the time.
Reno.
Everywhere I go. Hey, Reno.
It's friggin' hilarious. It is friggin' hilarious.
He tells me he gets the same problem. Where's Ange?
Yeah, and then the odd time you get an Italo in there.
Oh,
you get,
yeah,
God, we can say everything. I got one the other day. Who the hell? What did he? Scotty. Somebody called me Scotty, like Scotty Bowman, I guess. They called me Scotty. And I just, hey, how you doing? And I walked away. And
you know that. I never said, yeah, you do it. But I bring all that to light because we really feel that the brand is generational. It will, I think, be going long after I get out of it, retire. Don't know about him, but I can once again speak for myself, and so I'm not really worried about that. I two things I'm worried about. Number one is, what the hell am I going to do?
That's what I asked you earlier.
Yeah,
you got enough to keep you going.
And I'm not the type of person. Well, yeah, maybe I am. I was going to say I'm not the type of person to say, just kidding, I'm back. But maybe I am.
Yeah, you, if anybody, are you kidding me? Holy shit. Okay, boys, I had a nice little 6-month hiatus. Let's go.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think of a couple of people in our business that we've had the pleasure of knowing throughout the years, the Linder brothers.
Yes.
Very similar situation.
Oh, my God.
Right?
Al's still going.
Al is still there, but he's taking a little more of a back
taking
seat,
a step
right?
back. Yep.
Which is probably the way that I will end up going, to be honest with you.
I think it's the way you should do it, actually. I think you, of all people, should do that similar type of, move or whatever you want to call it. It would work well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like Al's closing of his show, he closes every show, just sits there and does his Bible talk and all. That's friggin' excellent.
Maybe I can do that.
Al will curse you.
That's true. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
But I don't know. All that to say to you that it's okay to ask.
Yeah.
If you want to write in, continue asking.
It's coming. Okay, it's coming. We're not going to work for. I'm not going to work forever. I don't know. Ange might. He might do the come back. I'm not working forever, but it's coming. So, but I just don't know when yet. Exactly when. So
then, let me ask you, on behalf of the audience, and on behalf of myself too, what keeps you going?
Well,
and I know that as long as you're having fun and you enjoy it, I know that dialogue, right?
No, it's not that big at all because it is a good. If I'd hated my job, I'd be gone. I'd be I'd have quit a long time ago. I would not have, you know what I mean? So, or whatever. So, monetarily is a big thing for me right now. I got a couple of mortgages to get through still, and that's a big one, right? You got to pay the mortgage, and
okay, so,
nice
financially is what keeps you going.
It's part of it. It's all part of it. And then,
Well, it's a good, honest answer.
and
I wouldn't have thought that.
I know, but I don't discuss my finances with anybody either, right? So, as well, what keeps me, if this job was in the wintertime, our job is sitting at a desk on a computer, setting up stuff and all that. If this job was just that, MFers, I'm out of here a long time ago. I hate it. I was a construction worker my whole life. I've worked outside my whole life. When I work from April or May until October, like this year, it's outside. I love it. It's great. You get to go outside and do your stuff. It was just an office job. I wouldn't be here for sure. So that's part of the job that I have no problem stepping away from. And I think we got bright minds here that can do more on a computer.
Easy. Don't lie to people.
They're
like
computer
that.
savvy, and then Ange and I are a little bit of still the two-finger freaks there. So there's a few things like that. But I don't know if that explains anything, but it does a little bit anyways. So
Well, certainly did for me. It shone some light on me.
Yeah.
So if I can keep you barefoot and pregnant, I can keep you going at this for another 20, 30 years.
No,
that's what it told me.
That's not gonna
Not
happen.
that long.
No. 20, maybe 20 months if you're lucky. If you're lucky.
This episode is brought to you by Sail. Sail is proudly Canadian and stocked with over 100 Canadian brands you know and love.
From rods and reels to sonars to kayaks and every last lure you've seen on the Fishing Canada show, Sail has all the gear to get you on the water.
Drop into one of 12 stores across Ontario and Quebec and talk to the real fishing specialists, or gear up online anytime at sail.ca.
Sail, the ultimate destination for your outdoor adventures. We interrupt this program to bring you a message from Anglers Leaderboard, an AI-powered platform built for today's anglers. Use your phone and the photo measure board to automatically detect length and species, log catches, and track your stats over time. Whether you're fishing solo or joining a regional tournament, ALB helps you stay organized and competitive. Head over to anglersleaderboard.com to learn more and start using ALB today.
There is always that, right? The financial part of anybody's retirement plans you have to look. You'd be a fool. No matter how much money you've got.
Yeah.
You have to look.
You have to be able to
right?
keep the flow going and not hurt yourself, not hurt your family and all. I have a young family, and I bought my house later in life. I didn't buy my house until 40 years old. You know what I mean?
And let's not lose sight of the fact you have some very expensive habits that you need to keep feeding.
Hell yeah.
So we'll sort of put that right at the top of the thing.
You're
not cheap.
I might go to rehab, and then I could retire and rehab at the same time. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Moving the discussion onto social media. Where
yes,
people,
the lovely social media.
According to Nick, there are, and when I say according to Nick or Dean or whomever, it's because we don't get a chance, honestly, and I could be like the rest of the high flyers and say, yeah, I read every email that comes in and I answer it personally, and God bless you. Well, you know what? I don't. All right? So I guess God won't bless you. I don't know what that means, but we don't. We don't. We're we're busy people. Our days are full of, there isn't a minute that, and when that minute comes up that you aren't accounting for, believe me, I know what to do with it, and it ain't doing more work. So we don't get a chance to, but between Dean and Nick, they read everything that comes in. And when they feel that something is of the nature where it needs to be brought to our attention, they do. And then we deal with it to see whether we're going to answer it.
And a lot of times they don't. A lot of times they say, you know what, Ange and Pete don't give a shit about that. They're not going to, don't bother them with it and all that kind of stuff. So they do the opposite end of it. So yeah.
So apparently there's a lot of you out there who are saying that maybe retirement is long overdue. Is that right, Nick? Is that what they're...
Not necessarily. They're not saying you're overdue. We get some people who write in just to want to know if you are.
Oh, so you think it's just...
I think a lot of it's just curiosity, right?
It's the thing. Again, it's our age thing. It's this that we're at that quote time. You know, this is what you're supposed to do. So.
And when Charlie retired, I think it spurred on a lot of that.
For sure.
Yeah, Charlie and Bob both were in the same kind of time-ish frame, right? I think not one apart.
Do you feel cheated? I know this is going to sound weird coming from me, but I felt, and I still feel somewhat cheated on how Bob went out.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, as Pete mentioned before, I mean, if there is such a thing as a Canadian Mount Rushmore for fishermen, he's the lead head on that
Oh, yeah.
mountain. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was no fanfare. There was no hoopla. There was no.
Yeah, but do you have to have hoopla and fanfare? If he didn't
In
want
his
that,
case-
if he didn't want it,
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, he might not have wanted it. He might have said, "Guys, please, I just want to fade away a little bit, and don't worry about me, and my legacy will move on." Versus, going down to Macy's parade and the whole 9 yards.
Well,
so.
when you spend that much time with on camera in front of people and I'm sure Bob went through the same things that we go through, where it doesn't matter whether you're shopping in a grocery store or having dinner with your family at a restaurant or getting gas or getting your tires changed. I had tires put on yesterday, and I'm standing there.
Tires did you change?
On MG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you go with? The Pirellis or the?
No. Do you want to hear something really mind-boggling?
I do.
Pirelli and
Bridgestone.
Michelin aren't making small little 13-inch tires.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Damn
I had to go
them.
to- I know. What did I put?
Yokohama.
Yokohama. But anyways, I'm standing there, and the guy, I could see him kind of kicking around, looking at the MG and wanting to say something. Finally, I said, "Hey, buddy, how you doing? Is that yes?" And of course, we went into this whole discussion. I just feel that a guy like him, who was at that level and beyond, almost owes it to the audience
I agree.
to at least, come in front of a camera and say, "Hey, hockey players, when they retire, right, they do a whole little deal because they have fans out there."
Who's that UFC asshole that I hate?
Who's that?
Who just retired?
Yeah.
Jones?
Jones.
Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith. Oh my God!
What?
I never liked him to begin with, and he did the biggest. He said, "No, but nobody already even knows him." He says he made himself larger than life. The whole show, like a half an hour to an hour, 18 was all about him. And
Yeah, it was a
and all
lot.
that. Anyways, it was a joke to me. It's just like shut the hell up.
Okay, but what happens when? Well, no, that's a bad
Jones
example,
just
too.
retared and just faded.
Jones
into
just-
the
he
distance.
just and he
Yeah,
just
but Jones has some.
he's got some problems
He's
going
got
on.
some problems. He was a little tarnished. Okay, let's be honest about it.
Speaking
Pretty
of-
hard.
Speaking of a guy that's got habits that are kind of costly.
That's not a Bob Izumi comparison. That's not a good
Does,
comparison.
that's not a good one.
But what if we compare him to maybe GSP?
Yeah, he had a press, like a big press
he had a
thing, a
big-
big
yeah.
media tour. When
And the
when he
Canadian
went,
press did a thing with him, and he
yeah.
was the government did. I think he was in Ottawa. Like there's because still has, I'm sure, such a strong connection with his audience that I just feel you're obligated for them and for yourself.
you almost owe it to your brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So I was a little disappointed, and I still am, that we maybe we as an industry should have pushed that issue. People like the
CSA,
Andy
whatever.
and or the Toronto Sportsman Show or Global Television and or should have done so. I don't know. That's me. I'd be curious to know what you think about that. Whether you agree with
that's a good question.
Or should old farts like us or me, because I'm a little older than Peter, should just sort of I don't know,
Fade away a little bit.
fade away and like
Step off the dock into the drink. My wife almost did that. There's a quick story for you.
What
I went to
happened?
the cottage. I was telling you, I went to the cottage of the weekend. Well, my wife and her friend were there before me, and I said, "Okay, I launched the boat, and I'm going to bring the boat over to the dock, and they can drive to the cottage. There's launches on the other side of the lake." And they were lit. They were tuned right up. They were just having the wine in hand and all that. And Lisa, my wife Lisa, was standing there and they're laughing and giggling. I give her my camera case. I said, "Sure, can you take that?" They wanted to take some of the cottage. They had to come and help me. So I said, "Okay." And then you take that. And I swear to God, she was just going backwards like that. And Tina says, "Lisa, don't step backwards." And she just about went right into the drink with one wine glass in one hand and my camera case.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I told her, I says, if you'd have went in, I jumped in to save the camera. I said, you would have been gone. She gave me shit. Anyway, so.
And no life
Step
jacket,
off the,
obviously.
no,
at
of
that
course,
point.
no.
No.
She wasn't, never, they just come down from the cottage. There was no life jackets at all. No, it was funny.
So anyway, I don't know whether we beat that one to death. I would like to think that some input from the audience might.
I'd like that. I want to hear from the audience on that Bob thing. Did he need the ticker tape parade, or the way he did it? Is that okay?
I'm not.
I'm interested.
I'm not. At the other retirements in our business, I have no issues with it all. But when you're at that level, I just think something. News conference. I don't care. Something. They should.
An interview.
Interview would be great.
Maybe on Outdoor Journal Radio, the podcast.
We had him. We had him on.
Yeah, we
He's
had him.
retired. He's been.
Yeah, we had him on since he retired. A great interview and
Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's doing a bunch of podcasts. We just don't know about it, or stuff like that. I know he's doing lots of appearances at whatever stores or whatever he's doing. Still doing that. Trying to get into tournaments
That's that
too,
financial
right? So,
thing that you were talking about, right? Maybe
Yeah.
that's.
I got a feeling
Park-
Bobby's doing all right. I don't think Bobby needs the couple grand for. I don't know. I think that's me more of his sponsorship commitments, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure.
So all right, let's let us know. Let us know. Please feel free to and market must be read by the boys. All right. So
Come on now.
if you don't want us to hear it a third hand, put our attention us on it.
The best way to make sure that it happens is to message us through Facebook or Instagram
There you go.
Done.
in terms of must see.
Okay.
That's your
why?
best
Why is that better than somebody sending an email? For
Because we get about 20,000 times more emails than we do messages, because the messages are just straight for us. Those emails, 90% of them are spam, the other 10% are newsletter. You know what I mean? Like, we get so many, so to lose one email with a question in it happens a little more often than we like to admit, and then we find it like months later.
Okay. There you go.
Good point.
You heard it from the horse's
Orifice.
one of the ends. I'm not sure yet. One of the ends. Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate that. You're a good man. And then Nick, of course, is part of the plan moving down the road, as is Dean, obviously, and Steve Niedzwiecki.
Is Steve got any plans like to further get involved with this? I know because
Oh,
right
he'd
now
love
he's
to.
yeah.
He'd
Okay.
love to, but the problem with Steve, I'll be honest with you, it's probably a good thing, bad thing, is that he's not in close proximity, right?
Oh, yeah, the distance is huge.
The distance is huge. It's a 3-hour trip for him
Yeah.
to come into the studio, and that's why we use him on shoots where we're headed up in his direction and we meet
Yeah.
him up on the road.
Yeah.
But no, if it was, if it was closer, I would say he would probably be very involved.
Cool.
I also want to come clean on something that I may or may not have said this on an open mic before,
Oh,
but
my.
there was not that long ago, and I can tell you it was 2020 where boy, that decision was very close to being made
Keep going.
after my heart attack.
Oh.
And as I was selling the property that we were in before, that this business was almost sold.
Yep.
And within days of that happening, I had one of those moments,
Epiphany. You have
an epiphany. And a lot had to do with me believing that the brand has legs. The brand should go on. It should go on well, because that sale would have meant that we would have eventually, not immediately, been phased out of the brand,
Right.
which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That happens all the time, right?
It happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I got this feeling that, well, maybe the brand needs to live on, right, as us, right? That's that. I got that feeling, and a lot has to do with Nick, my grandson, and beyond Nick, a lot has to do when we met Dean, and so we all of a sudden, and believe it or not, that kind of gives you a bit of a boost too, right?
course.
As artificial as that may be, but
No.
it does give you a bit of a boost, and you say, you know what, I can hang in there another couple of years. So,
And you can stay, and we both can stay involved as much as we want, even if you're retired. If you want to put a day a week, or do some writing, or you want to do some, the odd show or something like that going on.
If you think for even like 10 seconds that if he announces his retirement, that he won't be outside of the building, looking through the windows.
Yeah,
and
you'll
then-
have to put
you
in
know what I mean?
locks,
Like up the locks, change.
Yeah.
He
Let
will
me
be.
tell you.
It'll be everywhere. Like this man will never.
Oh, I know.
Dean and I
Okay,
have
me.
already got
Me.
Dean and I have already got the follow-up in the eventuality that happens. A new TV series will be given birth.
Oh, there you go. That's a good retirement.
The Armchair Fisherman.
That's perfect for
We
you, right there.
experimented
That
with
is-
it on the last one.
that is-
What's that?
We experimented. I think you and Pete were in the boat experimenting with it while Nick and I were out.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
did. Ange
That's
did an armchair, and
No
I was up
casting,
there
nothing.
suffering. And
Alpha thought that would be the best if you could just sit back and just like they do in football and hockey and baseball, where you've got these grizzled retired veterans.
Yeah, you see that leg truck there, Ange? With
and
that
they say,
he
well,
dropped the
that
big
guy,
tube jig on that
He
leg
wouldn't have never
toboggan.
caught that. I'd love to be able to do that. It could be so cool. I don't know how the audience would love it. I would love to do it.
It'd be a great little bit for YouTube.
Oh, I think it'd be great.
It'd be fun.
Where we just sit there and draw X's and O's and lines and say, now, had he gone over there, but he doesn't know that. He's not, and then,
Ange on the telestrator. Hey, there you go.
Oh, I'd love that.
That's the move, not the ballman. What are you doing?
What are you doing in there? Get out of there. You're hitting on.
No wonder he didn't catch shit.
Anyways, we thought we'd throw that at you today.
Yeah.
Anything else on social media side, Nick?
We got some fun anti-you guys comments lately.
Oh, do tell.
We got some fun. I can even go as far as to put it on that screen there for you.
Oh, my God. Where will
I don't think you
technology
can.
end?
I don't think you can do that.
He's going to put it on
can
that
do it.
screen. Okay.
Where will
do
it
it.
end? Where will it
He
end?
meant, I thought we thought he
Not
meant
not
this screen.
behind you. I'm not that good.
Oh, okay.
But should we say their names because it's all public? You
Hey,
can
I
find
don't
them.
know why you wouldn't. If somebody's
Well,
not
we got
embarrassed
a-
to send it, we shouldn't be embarrassed to read it.
You're going to have to read it, though, Nick, because we can't see that
I'll
far.
read them out. But I responded to most, if not all, of these. I don't tell you about all of them. I might have told you this one though. This is Daryl Streich. Streich.
Yep.
In reference to a walleye picture of you at Hawk Lake, saying this is the Abbott and Costello fishing show,
Oh,
and to never watch these clowns.
Excellent. Abbott and Costello were quite
what a great,
very popular pair of
whoa.
entertainers.
I can think of worse people you can compare
Me
us
too.
to,
Me too.
like the Three
Thanks,
Stooges
Daryl.
or something.
We,
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're perfect, Daryl. So thank you for that. We'll
have-
work on our delivery.
By the way, for those of you watching, listening, whatever, that are maybe too young to even know who Abbott and Costello were, they were probably
I had to Google them.
They were pioneers. You had to Google them. There you go. They were
That's true,
pioneers in the entertainment world with their antics on television. The two of them were comedians, obviously,
Yeah.
and all they did was skit after skit after skit after
they were
skit, and they
good.
were hilarious.
Yeah, they were good.
And
They were the Who's on First, weren't they?
Who's on
Yeah.
First
Oh,
is
that's a
theirs.
classic.
Look that
Okay.
one up. Who's on First by Abbott and Costello.
Oh, yeah. It's
So
good.
so for somebody to compare us to that, wow. Thank you, Daryl. That's holy mackerel. Maybe we do have a future after this.
We also have one, and that I think we talked about it as well. We're trying to figure out how this confusion happened, but Maverick Craig,
Yeah.
in response to a podcast post that we put out, said, "Hey, maybe don't tell people that are sitting on their dock watching you catch a muskie and cheer for you to be quiet."
Didn't we talk about this one?
We did. I think we did look.
Not on the air though, I don't think.
I know.
No.
No.
So we're telling these people, be quiet.
Yeah,
we're
they're
doing our
cheering.
TV
Apparently,
show. Right?
they're cheering for you. And this is in the Kawarthas, because I responded to him. I found out this has happened in the Kawarthas.
Obviously was not us.
It was
Pigeon
not
Lake.
us. Yeah, we haven't fished Pigeon Lake for muskie in 32 years.
God,
so.
at least.
So, hey,
At
he could be
least.
holding a real bad grudge. 32 years ago, you guys could have been a couple of assholes. You never know.
You know what?
Oh, we were, but
No.
Still
that,
are.
That doesn't sound like us, but I know
No.
who it does sound like. There are some where I could say, yeah, that's a perfect MO, but it's not us.
I'll tell you, Maverick, if they're cheering us, Ange and I, with a muskie, We're embracing that.
Oh,
we are
my
loving that.
God.
we're going to include them in the show. Can you hear that?
Absolutely.
That's right up our alley. I mean, that'd be fun. We'll talk to them afterwards. Hey, high five. Nice. Thank you. That's us.
So you responded to this, Nick?
Yeah.
And was there a response to your response?
No.
No. Oh.
It was liked. It was simply liked. So who knows?
All right.
Mark Mundier, again, the podcast is supposed to be put up. People seem to really like. I feel like it's when they feel like they can yell at you the most.
You missed one.
We'll get to him at the end.
Oh, okay.
He's there though, but we
got
talked about him, so we can circle back
you.
later. He says that he wishes you guys would stop using $10,000 worth of fish finders and get back to fishing.
That's okay.
It's a valid comment,
But part of it.
But that ship sailed a long time ago. I think when we started embracing technology in the fishing industry, and I'm not talking about today's technology, I'm talking, how about graphite rods? Because they revolutionized the industry, totally revolutionized. And anybody who could afford a graphite rod in the 70s, not many of us, by the way, me in that group that couldn't, it just changed the way you fished, totally changed the way you fish. How about electric trolling motors?
Oh God!
How about that one?
Yeah.
I mean, that's as
Well, the most basic of fishing would be fishing from the bank.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that is
Yeah,
what
fishing
he's
boats.
saying. So anything
You're past $10,000 in for a good boat.
Yeah,
Well past.
no matter what. So, you could say, well, just a boat, motor, and trailer, you need that. Well, of course you need that. That's what if you wanted to evolve to there. And all of a sudden that boat gets some fish finders on it, you're evolving again. You get the graphite rods, you're evolving again.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I have to ask you a question because I know what the answer is for me. If you were given an opportunity, and I don't care what the species is or where it is or whatever, if you were given an opportunity to fish this is a small body of water. If you were given an opportunity to fish all day long with zero technology versus, let's say, 3 hours with all the technology available to you at hand, what would you do?
That's a good one. I mean, I'm a sucker for a long day on the water, but
I know. That's why I'm asking you.
I'd have to take the gear. I like the gear. I want to catch some fish. I want to learn the lake. I want to learn everything about the lake as much as I can and go from there. So I'd have to go with the technology versus winging it out there, I guess is what you call it. But I mean, I'd do it if I had to. Anyway, I've been challenged already this year to go. I was challenged by a friend for a small lake fishing tournament. Him and his buddy against me and my buddy, and he says, "Okay, but no electronics," is what he said to me. I says, "Okay, buddy,
Well,
you're on. You're on."
Yeah. See, to me, it's not fishing anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
But
It's not fishing anymore. It's like, I don't know.
He's the spinnerbait king, so I said, "Okay, and no spinnerbaits for you." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Hey,
There you
hey,
go.
there you go."
There you go. Spinnerbait spinnerbaits changed bass fishing.
Yeah, it used to be a little map single spin.
Inline
You-
spinner,
you
treble
get the
hooks
treble
hanging out.
hooks, grabbing weeds and all the time. And now all of a sudden,
Totally
there's
changed fishing.
everything.
Totally.
We're
So-
advancing all this elastec material. In
So
your,
the
in your
answer
baits.
to who was that? Sebastian?
No.
No, Mark Mundier.
Mundier. Wish you guys would stop using $10K worth of fish finders, and get back to fishing. I guess I can comfortably say, because I don't see a world where, even if we're fishing out of a kayak, where we don't have some form of electronic
assistance of some type. Yeah.
assistance. So I guess
I wonder if Mark would prefer to see on a half-hour show. If Mark would prefer to see no electronics, we caught 4 12-inch walleye.
or none.
Well, I was going to say, and one 3/4 of a pounder, or going the opposite end of the spectrum, showing electronics, showing our tactics that we use with the electronics, showing the baits, everything. And we got 26, 27, 28, 29-inch walleye, and then a 10-pounder on top of that. I wonder which show he'd rather watch. I mean, would he be saying, "Wow, I love that little fish show because you just went out there and threw a jig and hoped for the best," or would he say, "Wow, I learned a lot on that one, and you guys got some tanks"? I think people like seeing big fish, right? So, I mean, it seems like that way in this world that we're living in. So, I don't know. Maybe not.
There isn't a television program, series, concept, whatever, that people would tune into if they knew that it wasn't going to have a big ending or a big moment. If there was just
Exactly.
off you go, just do your own. You wouldn't watch it.
Fishing tournaments on TV. You wait for that big 5-pounder or 10-pounder or whatever. You wait for that guy to pull in a 30-pound bag. The dirty 30 come up to the, oh my God, there it is, right there. Even something like that. There's an accumulation. There's
everything needs to come to a breaking point, the big moment.
Right. So Mark, it will not. Unfortunately, I don't want to sound negative. You won't get a chance to see that happening. Sorry, buddy.
A weirder one. We did a while back a sale meet and greet.
Yes.
Right. And it got an overwhelmingly great turnout. We loved meeting everyone. It was a very fun event.
Yes.
In the advertising for this event,
Yes.
a Mr. Sebastian Gennaro,
Okay.
because it's on a Saturday, he said, well, people fish on weekends.
It's a good point,
And it's a great point. It's a great point. But then Chris made an even better. A fan of ours, Chris Wilson. Thank you, Chris. He responded for us.
I was going to say that.
Saying, Sebastian, people we work during the week. We can't make all the whiners like yourself happy.
I love it.
Say what you will. Maybe it was a harsh comeback, but as the social media supervisor for this brand, it fills my heart with joy when someone makes a response to a negative comment
I like
and we don't
that
have
too.
to.
Well,
Yes,
because it keeps your hands clean.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like I get
And
to just kind of stand back and just the problem solves itself.
Yeah, but then you get some the other side of the story too. Some people are with us, you know what I mean? They work with us
for
and all
sure.
that too. So.
And you always hear your haters, but you rarely hear from your
exactly.
supporters. It's nice. So thank you. If you guys have ever done that on our pages for us, done the dirty work for us, we appreciate it.
What was our muskie guy's name? Reggie. Reggie. It's a classic example of Reggie. I won't get into it, but Reggie got his ass kicked after he put. Reggie did a public apology to us.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
Oh yeah, we've had a couple, not that many. I can honestly say, aside from my little skirmish with disaster back in the pandemic era.
Yeah.
It was pre-pandemic. It was just at the very beginning.
It was right at the beginning, 2020.
Aside from that, I think we've been able to avoid any major social media, backlashes and disasters, to my knowledge, anyways. Unless you guys can remember something, I don't.
No.
That one.
I don't think so.
That one
What
was
about going through the? I guess it would have been social media. That would have just been bad fellow when you missed your little party there.
Oh no, that's a whole other.
Oh God.
No. We love you, Kekabeka Falls, by the way. Just so you know, just throw that out there, just in case. But aside from that one, I don't think we've ever and we've been able to stay away from conflict by
when we changed over to FNC. That was we got some complaints on that one in a large way.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a biggie. That's
Would you say?
got our ass kicked.
Is FNC available on YouTube, guys? Is there?
It can be.
You put up a clip. I put up a clip last year from one of those episodes because we talked about it on the podcast, and it got hate again.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
yeah.
still
Really?
hated it.
I
They're
got a
like, I
feeling
can't
it was-
believe that they're putting this stuff out. Like, it's still. It's
Well, then we
not.
won't even talk about it. You don't want to
The sweet spot for that would have been about right before the pandemic. I feel like that's when it was still acceptable. That stuff's not acceptable no more.
I don't think
If you don't
was
want
ever-
if you don't want to hate us, then don't.
don't
go
write
down
those
and look
letters.
at- yeah,
FNC.
yeah.
If you want to see it though, feel free to write in. We'll send you little snippets.
Oh,
This episode is brought to you by Angler's Leaderboard and its photo measure feature. Angler's Leaderboard makes every catch count by integrating seamlessly with their patent-pending AI-enabled fish measurement board. Now you can automatically measure catch length and detect species in seconds just by using your smartphone camera. It's fast, accurate, and reduces handling. So now you can release healthier fish and keep fishing for the big ones. Learn more at anglersleaderboard.com.
okay. What's this?
We got one last one, and we've talked about it before,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's interesting to talk about it like on a mic to see what you guys think about something like this. And again, this is more of the fan. He was our neighbor at the old building. Brian came to our defense on this one, right? But
BP.
a Bodan Boretsky. Apologize, Bodan,
Boretsky,
if
yeah,
I
I think
messed
so.
your name up there. And you guys are talking in the Hawk Lake podcast about how it's one of the top walleye lakes, period.
Yeah.
And he quotes, As soon as you say one of the top walleye lakes, I lose respect.
Oh.
Say a very good walleye lake.
Oh.
There are 1,000 one of top walleye lakes. So it kind of loses its meaning.
Well, first thing, what I would really appreciate if you're watching this, Bodan, if you know of 1,000 top walleye lakes, maybe our standards are set a little bit different, but if you know of 1,000 walleye lakes where you can pretty much be assured, well, no, I will go farther than that. You are guaranteed that if you fish at the right time, in the right spot on this lake, you are guaranteed probably, for most of you, a personal best walleye every day, every night, whatever the case may be.
There's a good chance at it, for sure.
Very good chance. So if you know 1,000 of those lakes, I don't know about you, but I would really appreciate you contacting us and letting us in on, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 of them. Never mind 1,000, if you don't mind, because, yeah, we have a hard time finding bodies of water where we're talking trophy walleye. We're not just talking walleye fish. We're not talking a place where you
Now,
can
he
catch.
says top walleye lakes. He didn't say trophy. I don't know if he got it wrong or we said it wrong or something like that.
I think we called it one of the top walleye lakes in Ontario.
It's still-
Or top
it's still-
walleye lakes in Canada or
but-
something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Which it is.
Well, it is. There's no doubt that it is. 100%.
I can't apologize for something that's true.
so I just looked this up. So if he's got 1,000,
1,000.
he's got 1,000, that makes it 878,800 more than aren't good. How's that?
Oh.
There's your tout there. That's how many
Oh,
lakes.
look at you with the technology.
So there you go. 1,000 could be, for sure. There could be a
But
great.
there's 878.
And I know that it might be, that term might be subjective, but I think coming from us, you have to, give it a little bit of credibility. We have fished in a lot of walleye lakes from coast to coast, by the way. And for us to say that it's one of the top, boy.
I feel like that's where Brian Pollock kind of came to your
Okay.
Let's
defense
hear it.
on that one.
Let's hear it.
And he says, Bodan Boretsky, I lose respect for people who have to take cheap shots at two fishing legends just to do a normal show promo, which is all that post was. We were just letting everyone know that the Hawk Lake episode was,
Right.
being made.
Yeah. I got
It's
you.
a valid point.
Which brings me,
Thanks,
and you two guys maybe
Brian.
can jump in on this, because it still behooves me. What is it that drives people on the internet, because in person it doesn't happen, but what is it that drives people on the internet to make comments like that? Obviously something motivated Bohan to take the time out of his busy day. I don't know what he does, but I'm assuming he's as busy as the next person. He took the time out of his busy
He's
day.
got 1,000 walleye lakes. He's busy fishing, that's for
He's
sure.
a busy fella.
He's out there all the time.
But what is it about the internet or social media that
That's true.
allows
It's so
people
true.
that
Prompts them or whatever it doesn't. They're all allowed. Everybody's allowed to chime in, but something's prompting them, especially the negative ones that are, they call them the keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them.
I think it's because people always will enjoy telling you how you messed up more than telling you how you did a good job. And that goes in a lot of areas in life,
'Cause
right?
they might do that during our press conference, retirement.
It very well may
Thank
happen,
God you
but-
idiots are out of here.
Well,
Think about it in school, right? Think about it in school. If you're messing up a lot,
Okay, I can think
tell
about
you-
that. I can relate to
but
that one.
They tell you, hey, you're messing up all the time. But if you're consistently doing good, that's it. You do good. You do your thing.
Absolutely.
And no one, very rarely, unless you have a great teacher, they give you a pat on the back. So
Yeah.
I think when it comes to
Yeah.
online, it's
Yeah.
you get
That
so
is
many
true.
different opinions that if someone thinks you've done wrong, they're going to tell you you've done wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just it. There's a guy, he did a study. I wish I could find it, but he asked questions on a bunch of different forums, and half of the posts he made, he didn't respond to. And people barely answered his questions. But on this other batch of questions that he put, he made a second account and answered his question incorrectly.
oh,
And there was an overwhelming response of people who didn't care to answer the question,
place, yeah.
just cared to correct the guy who was wrong.
Well,
And I think that speaks to
It's
the
so
culture
true.
of
It is
social
so
media
true.
and the internet.
thank God that we're in a business that there is no right or wrong. At the end of the day, there really is no right or wrong in what we do, right?
Unless you're referencing walleye lakes.
Well, yeah, you're being a smart ass now, and that's fine. But I'm saying that in all honesty. Thank God. I went through a phase where I said I am a meteorologist because I compared what we do to the weather people. Think about it. The weatherman or woman can, go on national television 7:00 every night and say, tomorrow we will have hailstorms the size of chickens. And then tomorrow comes and it never happens. But that night they're back on that same show, that same message is going out.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. So moving on to tomorrow. Now tomorrow, let me tell you, we're going to have hail the size of, SUVs. And there's no hail the next day, but they still care. I remember, for you old timers out there, Dave Duvall was probably one of the highest profile weatherman in Canada.
That's a freaking golfer, David Duvall.
Well, there's probably Dave Duvall too.
Yeah.
But this guy was the ultimate weatherman, meteorologist, and he was wrong at least 60% of the time. But it didn't change the way people saw him or respected him or loved to engage with him via television. Like he was a celebrity, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I sometimes think that we're kind of the same. Everything we say on the show, we tell you because we have experienced it. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but through years and years and years of repetition, we can comfortably say, you know what, this works, and try it yourself. That's because we had the luxury of being able to spend countless hours doing the wrong thing until we were able to come up with the right thing.
Yep.
But it doesn't
point.
mean that it's 110% in the bank.
No.
And it's the only thing that's going to work.
Absolutely. The farthest thing from that, honestly. It did work. One of many things that could work and many things that couldn't work. So,
There you go. So when we say the best walleye, one of the best walleye lakes on the planet, it's because based on our experiences fishing walleye lakes from coast to coast for 40 years,
there's one from it right there.
Look at that.
This is the magnum opus of these hate comments, if you will. I didn't call them hate comments. That's so serious. But the disparaging comments we get come in the form of pictures. And so I'm sure we can somehow get these up into video form for those of you who are watching. But this is the picture of Mr. Bowman there at Hawk Lake with his walleye.
Whatever.
It's a really nice picture.
He's got a big one there, that's for sure.
And someone responded to it with this. I gotta give it to him. It's pretty good. But the
Holding
next
it
one
to-
might be better.
I don't run that boat though. We have a Prince Craft.
Yeah, we have a real boat.
Here's the next one. It's called Fish Fingers.
Yeah, I've seen these. This is good.
Oh, those little things.
hand, yeah.
I wonder how many people in the fishing community.
They're all sending those on this picture.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what they're doing?
Yeah. And then we got also Bill Andrews saying he was never much of a fan.
On that picture.
On the Hawk Lake one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But on that image,
Yeah.
he's never
Never
much,
much
of, a fan.
So that's
So what
on
does
Pete
that mean?
Bowman probably.
What's
He's
that
just never been much of a fan.
But yet he's
He was
there.
compelled to
He looked
comment
at the picture and he commented.
And he was compelled to take time out of his busy day
to let us know he's not a fan.
let us know.
Bill,
That's-
I'm a fan of you, buddy. Just for you taking the
course.
time to do that. That shows
That's
that
right.
I'm a big fan of yours.
We always love it when you comment on our pictures. So keep it
There
up.
you go. Fish fingers. I like those things. We should start doing shows with those things only. Holy shit, we'd have a show done in half an hour. And look at the side of that one. Woohoo! Nice one, Beatty. Okay, throw them back. But okay, camera, turn out to the seagulls there. Would you?
in conclusion, what did we establish? Thank you, Nick. Have you got any more of those? Or are you done there
No,
with that?
I mean I can keep looking.
No,
no,
I
that's
think
fine.
we're good.
We
Yes,
do
I
have
think
a
we're
few. We do have a few obligations to hit.
All right. Let's do those before I do the
We have
conclusion. Closing.
A beautiful message from the folks at the Invasive Species Center.
No.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
Let
Bring
us
it
guess.
on.
Let us
Come on
guess what
now.
it is. Is it?
Did you know that your favorite species of sport fish could be at risk,
There
Mr.
it is.
Bowman?
There
Did
it
you know
is.
this?
Yes, I did know that. I've been hearing a lot of this lately, especially in the Outdoor Journal radio podcast.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Grass carp, one of the 4 species of Asian carp, have the potential to outcompete all of our favorite game fish. All of them, bar none.
Northern pike, walleye, smallmouth, yellow perch, rainbow trout, brook trout, brown trout, you name it, muskie, you name it. They're all our favorites, and then some.
There's only one.
Even carp, maybe. Yeah, even carp.
The common carp.
Yeah, common carp.
Well, yeah, because they're vegetarians as well.
That's right.
And if you start eating up their...
That's right. Well, they
although
eat crustaceans and they'll eat
crustaceans,
bugs.
yeah. Which live in those weeds.
Exactly.
So what do you do? What do you do? Well, you throw your hands up in the sky and say, "Oh my God, the sky is falling. What are we going to do?"
The sky is falling.
No, you don't. You go to asiancarp.ca. You look up grass carp. You download the images and the information that is available for you there onto your phone. Now you have it with you because I'm assuming most of you, if not all of you, you'll forget your wallet with your license. You'll forget money for the boat parking. You'll forget all that, but you won't forget your phone. We know that.
That's pretty true.
It's true. So you download the information from asiancarp.ca onto your phone about grass carp. It's got all kinds of interesting stuff, but the most important thing is the imagery will help you identify this critter if you see one in the wild, which is going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Right?
Before we retire?
Great question.
For us?
Great question. Boy, that's really narrowing down that time frame, isn't it?
Well, we'll put it out that somewhere in Canada it'll happen. How's that?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
asiancarp.ca. We need to arm ourselves with all the knowledge we can about that critter. How's that, Dean?
That's one
good.
done?
That's one done.
Dean, what else do you want us to do?
J&B Psycho brings us a very quick news story.
Oh, all right.
Oh, this is again right up Dean's and Nick's.
All right.
alley.
So
It's web
this
related.
segment brought to you. Oh, watch my coffee.
There you go.
Good. Dan,
Come on
good
now.
thing. Brought to you by J&B Cycle, your marine package specialists. Ontario's largest Princecraft Mercury dealer, by the way, in case you were wondering. We're going to be working with these folks at some point in the very near future. I can't tell you when, because I really don't know when that is. But I did have a great conversation with Rob Racine, owner of J&B Cycle, just recently.
Wow, you guys
Without
are
giving
on a
away any
talking
dates.
basis.
Well, he
Confides
called
in
me.
you?
Yeah.
Is he complaining about the rest of us, or was he?
Yeah, I can't.
say?
I cannot confirm or deny that
Okay,
comment.
I gotta have to.
But
work
we
on
will
that.
be working with him on one or two of his endeavors very soon.
Excellent.
But in the meantime, if you're looking for a Princecraft or Mercury combo package boat trailer, all that stuff, you need not to worry about it. You just go to their website, which is not JNB.
Don't confuse people.
Their URL is just
Cycle.
jbcycle.com. And punch in boat packages, and it'll take you to all. While you're there, by the way, I was on the other day looking for the boat package stuff. There's a ton of stuff on there that that if you're into buying the stuff online, holy smokes!
They got a good chunk of inventory, don't they?
Oh, my God.
And all aspects of marine and everything else too.
Yeah.
I mean, cycle and ATVs and you name it.
That's our good friends at JB Cycle and Marine. And they bring you this segment. This is the news. And it says AI predicts angler activity with surprising accuracy. So I'm assuming, without even getting into that, but I'm assuming that somebody punched in all of the, or spoke in now, I guess. Punching in now that's old timer stuff, right? If you have to go in and type in.
No,
now.
Nick
still
types it in
type
all
it,
the
yeah.
time.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He's a
That they asked this
activity with surprise.
AI about
Predicts
angler activity.
Wonder
They were
why-
actually
wonder
looking. Yeah,
why they would do this to begin with.
so they were analyzing the stats of what like the lakes that people are looking up, and then comparing that by actually going to the lakes and seeing how many people showed up, and trying to see how accurately you can predict how many people will be on the water versus how many people are looking up that particular body of water that week.
Right.
And they found with 78% accuracy, you can predict which lakes are going to receive the majority of the traffic. Which is kind of...
How the hell do they know?
Well, they track everything you do. Like every time you search anything, it's people know.
Yeah, that part would be the easy part.
How do you think you get all those
Following
weird
up
ads?
to know where
Yeah.
they got to.
Well, so like
a lot
they would
of
go,
that would be though, like Ange and I, for instance, and I'm sure Dean has in his past, but we'll be looking up lakes to try and fish, and we'll look them up, but we just say nope. Next one, look it up. Like the lodges we're going to, nope. So they would be all in that percentage of
So
not
you look
going
it up,
to, but
so people or AI would think you're interested in it.
right.
so you'd be part of that 25% that's not actually
Not,
going.
yeah.
But I guess most people would
Oh.
look up maps, like Buck Lake map, and
Right.
then that would predict that week you're probably going to find them at Buck Lake at some point.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and again, I'm wondering why they're trying, the end result would be.
So they're
here.
saying, I guess, instead of having to do surveys in person where you send people out to see how many people were on the water, if you know this is 75% accurate, you can kind of see how busy the lakes are at a certain time of the year. So you know if there's too much traffic on a certain body of water, or if it's never getting touched by anybody, or what the deal is, I guess.
It's gone too far.
Yeah.
That's all I could say about that. It's just gone too
And
far.
we're too far gone.
It's sucking the life out of us.
Maybe
It is
maybe there'd be like an M&R incentive, or that they know they should go to this lake because most people go to that lake if we're going to check licenses,
Or the
creel
police,
limits, or the OPPs for drinking and no life jackets and all that. Maybe it's part of that, which is okay. I don't mind that. I mean, but you should do that. You should spread it around too. Otherwise,
I don't get it.
That feels a little like a surveillance state. To me.
you know what? If they're keeping over their limit, piss on them. They need to get charged.
That's true.
So,
I have
Or
one
whatever,
final
poaching.
obligation.
oh,
We have a fan question of the week.
Brought to you by the good folks at fishfindermounts.com.
Come on now.
Fishfindermounts.com. If you are in the need of anything having to do with hanging stuff off your boat, electronically speaking,
$10,000 worth of electronics that we use.
That's right.
That's right, buddy.
that
There.
our good friend Bohem was questioning us about. You need but go to fishfindermounts.com. It's that simple. I don't even need to say anything else. Fishfindermounts.com will have a solution. And we all have these queries that we would like to have somebody answer for us. Like, how do I put a transducer off the side of my boat, but it won't interfere when I'm back trolling, for example? They have a solution for that. They have an answer. It's fishfindermounts.com. Check them out. Canadian company, by the way.
I was just about to say that. British
All
Columbia.
Canadian
West
company.
Coast specialists.
Yep. So, Marley Trenholm via email. Trenholm, now is she qualified for anything?
No, she emailed us in, and Nick actually said earlier that these pile up, and this one I found from a while ago. So
So it's one of those piling up ones.
it's
that
it's
we
in
almost
a
missed
pile.
it.
But I thought it was
and
kind of
Marley.
good. I kind of liked it.
Marley wants to know if you could time travel to one lake and time for a fish, to a lake and a time
Yep.
for a fishing trip, where would you go and what species would you be targeting?
I have a good
Holy-
picture of one behind you, Ange. Nice stringer.
Whoa!
That's Algonquin Park,
I
that baby.
love it. Look at that.
That was the I'll
Danko.
tell ya.
Does that say Danko on your hat?
Yeah.
Oh my
That
God.
boy didn't need much sleep, I'll tell you that. He didn't get much sleep either. that
No?
kid. No, he was on the go 24/7, nonstop.
Time travel. So this is going back in time as we're
Yeah,
Right,
back,
looking
yeah.
at-
yeah.
So you're going to a place and a period of time in the timeline. What would it be?
Man, we got so many. I'll tell you the first one that comes to my mind when I just thought of time travel. It's one of my all-time favorite trips of my life that Ange and I did in Reno. And unfortunately for the people that love Canada the most, it wasn't Canada. It was Mexico. We went down to Lake El Salto bass fishing, largemouth bass fishing. And it's just to this day is this like the most unbelievable, because I love largemouth bass more than any other species. I like them all, but I have this this love for largemouth that's beyond, and that spot was just insane. We got on this stuff. We were throwing we never threw crankbaits hardly at all. We were throwing deep diving crankbaits into the wood. We were throwing jigs. We had jigs with Senkos on the back. This was when Senkos just came out too. We started throwing the Senkos, and it was just a.
Do you remember that guy that was there, who had his own worm? It was a red
Don Iovino.
How do you remember that?
I just do.
Remember he had that red worm, and he said, "Boys, you ain't fishing unless you're fishing this." And he had a name for it.
Yeah.
And what a trip!
It was a good trip. Reno got a 10-pounder. Ange and I didn't, but Reno got a 10. But Ange lost one that we know was made a 10-pounder. It would pull him in a tug of war like nothing. It was that freaky of a fish. We didn't see it, but they spooled it. He took every inch of line off his baitcaster.
I was flipping the jig.
Yeah.
And it just went
straight out to the deep water. Snap, gone. No way. We couldn't even catch it. It was gone so fast.
You know what part of that trip stayed with me? And I don't know whether you were on my boat when this happened or not. But we were a little bit offshore, not much, but a little bit offshore. And there was a big floating...
Yeah. Like hyacinths or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Mm-hmm. And so we went over to check it out because we wanted to fish it. And as we got there, there was pockets of openings and schools of 4-pound plus largemouth bass under it.
And we couldn't catch them, we
couldn't get one to bite.
Yeah, it was the most ridiculous thing you ever seen.
They were like a school of herring. They were just
up high in the weeds in the steeper water. Yeah. It was floating mat, and it was there. Yeah, everything about that trip was just crazy. Just
my
absolutely crazy.
Little adventure with Sun.
Your sunstroke,
and
we
the
brought
bees,
you back.
And the bees under that bank where we went to hide from the sun.
Yeah, the wasps or whatever they were. Yeah. Those are memories. We're still talking about, and there's so many more to that whole trip that we just. I caught a bass with a hole in its head. It literally had a hole in its head with moss growing in the hole. Yeah. And this big 8-pound largemouth. So stuff like that is just like, how can that not be your favorite trip, right? So
I'm gonna have to take that one off. I can't think of just one. There are so many of them. Much like the question that we had. Or no, the comment we had on the show today about how can we just say this is one of the top walleye lakes in the world? Well, how can I call one of these as my top memory of 40 years of adventure and travel and scenarios like Pete just mentioned? I mean, we traveled about 200 days a year in the peak period of our careers, and God, I probably have 1,000, and I don't want to exaggerate, but I'd probably come up with 1,000 lakes and period of time. And I'd have to give it some thought. Not only that, but I'm stalling here because I've forgotten all of them. So I'm not true. Not true at all.
God.
That are it. Anything else, Dino? Are we good?
We're good.
We got questions saved for the next podcast.
There you go.
Okay. Beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in today. This is one of those programs that just kind of came to life surprising us. But we had points that we wanted to make and issues that we wanted to throw out there and discuss with you. Hopefully we've done that. And
keep all the comments coming too. Even the negative ones, we have no problem with that. You bring it, the boys will tell us, or we'll bring them on our podcast again. We can talk about it. We didn't hurt anybody's feelings too bad. You didn't hurt ours too bad. So we're good. No worries.
All right. On behalf of the entire team, Boba, Dean, Nick, Peter, I'm Angelo. Thanks for joining us. We'll get you next time around. Take care. This episode of Outdoor Journal Radio is brought to you in part by the Invasive Species Centre, protecting Canada's land and water from invasive species. Freedom Cruise Canada, rent the boat, own the memories. JMB Cycle and Marine, your home for all things power sports, boats, and equipment. And Silver Wax, absolute care for everything you drive.